the room and mute it first, because last time I think that was part of the echo.
Fair.
But I did want to I want to be able to see the comments.
Recording is in progress. We'll continue without you. Are you sure you want to leave? No, I don't want to leave. Okay, is it not working though? Scheduled in.
What was the platform that we used with Holly?
It's the same. It's this. I don't know why it's not going live though. Oh. I think I did it. I think. Oh, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm going live.
Okay. All right, it does look like I'm in here, but you're
Really?
on my screen, so that's always a good start. No,
Are
no,
we?
We're going. We're
Okay. I now need to find the
good. I
link.
don't know. I look extremely bored.
Okay, quick housekeeping. Maybe. I'm frozen now. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
I was gonna say, instead of like publishing this every single week, I might just like generate something in the Riverside FM whatever thing that I have, like the broadcasting, and then I'll send out an invite. Like anybody who
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to come, we'll just invite them to so this is on their calendar. Otherwise they have to keep like accepting, and I think that's dumb.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
Ooh, I can join my
Although I
own
do
IFF.
um, oh, good. Hey, Sandra. Cool. That was my answer to that question. Are people here? Is it just you and I chatting?
Okay, I'm muting myself. Yay, Sandra's here. Okay, let's get started. You ready for some jokes?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go first this week since I went first last week?
Sure, I'll go. I'll go first. This comes straight from Kate Lesk, who's on my team, and thought it was hilarious, and so do I. Kind of. What do you call a teacher who is afraid to fart in front of their class?
I usually really try to figure out jokes, but in the best interest of time, I don't know. What is it?
It's a,
Oh my gosh, my 6-year-old's gonna love
it's
that. Okay, where do bad rainbows go? They
I
go to
don't know.
Prism. It's a light sentence, but it gives them time to reflect.
No, that's too much.
Trying to find like one
All
that's
right.
kind of like medical device, and I was like Prism glasses, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna just gonna lean into the rainbows this week. So
No. I went with fart jokes. Always a winner.
I see where we're at. I'm gonna like try and come to your level then. Next week. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna close out of this other window. All right, let's get started. Might just be you and me this week, and Sandra. So let's.
That's the best.
There's 2 of us, 3 of us. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what happened. What are we trying to keep up with this week? Any news from you, sir?
Um, I think we're allowed to talk about. We got a big de novo clearance for one of our clients, which is pretty rad. It's the VitaSmart Hope perfusion device, and it's really cool. A device that helps perfuse organs with hypothermic solution to kind of keep them alive longer and make them work. It helps with operational cadence, so like the whole surgical team doesn't have to show up all at once at 2 o'clock in the morning. They can keep the liver alive long enough to like, hey, let's do this at 8 in the morning instead. And it gives larger candidate pools sometimes. And it was a big project. We had a lot of good communication with the FDA, so I think it was a success on that end too. And yeah, got to go through the whole, found out, that whole quote from the FDA that if it's not a block of wood, it's a cider device. So had some challenges
Who
there.
did that? It was like a
But we
flow
got through
chart,
it,
and I
and
was like, "That's so
it's a big
good."
day.
Yeah, is it a block of wood? No, it's a
Yeah.
cyber device.
Yeah, exactly. Felt like that was a joke from Nels because it felt like him, but it probably wasn't. And yeah, no, it was a really cool project. It took a lot of our team to work through it, and the Bridge to Life team was great to work with. They were really happy, and it's one of those ones that's a very clear, like, this is clearly going to help people right away type thing, and those are always the fun ones to
Yeah,
work on. So,
that's so cool. Actually, I
so
did
that,
not know that that was yours because I every week I go through all the de novos that have come out, and I talk to I work with the Duval and Associates folks, and I just do like a little presentation of like, here's kind of what happened this week or new guidance documents. And the two that came out were the perfusion device, which was like, how cool. Like, I feel like uh, there's such a challenge with organ donation and organ preservation, and it's really hard to keep them fresh for transport, especially if it's going long distances, and also making sure that the like organ transplant actually keeps, right? Because as soon as you take it out of one person, it starts dying, right? And so that's super cool.
right.
The other de novo, so congrats first and foremost,
Thank
good
you.
job. And then the second
Yeah.
one was Sauna Health, which my buddy Tasha Bond is listed on their page
Oh,
too. But
nice.
that I don't know exactly the indications they got yet. It wasn't on like the letters weren't out yet,
Yeah.
but I think it's
Mhm.
for PTSD is one of the indications they were going for. So it's like a
Oh, cool.
um, ocular. I think just seeing the CEO speak at LSI, I think last year, it's like a light-based therapeutic. Super cool. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Are you going to
I'm
LSI
not.
this year?
Should I?
I am for the first time. Yeah, come. I'm gonna be there, and
It's like
so yeah,
driving
it's
distance
right
for
up the
me.
road.
Maybe I still have my
Yeah,
lanyard. I'll just
just
go
come up
like.
and
I mean,
yeah,
if anyone from LSI is listening, just kidding. Uh,
yeah. No, I'm going for the first time this year. Megan, our VP of clinical, went for the first time to the
oh,
European one
cool.
in London and said it was awesome. So I've never gone. Is it
It's
cool?
so much
It
fun.
seems cool.
It's so cool. And it's just like it's like buzzing, you know? Like it just the folks that are there, they give like really short kind of like pitches. So like last year I hosted one of the sessions. It was just really fun introducing the various like people who are about to present. And then it's a lot of investors, like a lot of folks that are looking to invest money in these companies. And so they have like different
Oh,
tracks,
cool.
but it's so cool. Like, I don't know. I just have such a nerdy time when I go. Okay, I think you've convinced me. It's also at the Waldorf Astoria, so
Yep.
it's like freaking
Yeah,
beautiful.
bringing Carolyn, and it's actually going to be the first time we're
Oh,
leaving
you're
Rowan at
leaving the
home.
kids at home, or the kid at
Um,
home. Good.
yeah, so we're like, I know it's kind of lame to do that over a work trip, but I was like, it's at the Waldorf.
At the
Like,
Waldorf, babe.
enjoy
Yeah,
the spa. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it'll be
Do you like
fun.
go do
So
spa
I'm
treatments,
excited.
or maybe I'll just go and does she play golf?
Yeah,
Can I just go like hit some?
no, but she'd pretend she likes putt putt, so you can go putt. She beats me at putt putt too, which is a shame because I actually do
Yeah.
golf. She crushes me.
Disappointing.
It's
Yeah.
quite annoying. Yeah,
It's walking around behind me gagging. Hey, bud. Anyway, back to business.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, we should actually come up with a list of like conferences we're going to be at because I always like hanging out with you, but also it'd be um, yeah, just fun to see which ones people are going. I think
Figure it
Etienne
out.
Nichols like put together a list. He was like, where are people going this year?" And I'm like, I already missed CES, which I think next year I should go.
I need the list.
And I like it seems completely nutty, but it's like also looks really fun. And then the other one, like JP Morgan didn't go this year, and I was like, man, I really got to like figure out my schedule in December. I think I'm just like so fried at the end of like every year that I'm like I don't even think to January, which is kind of poor planning. Yeah.
I didn't do the conference thing. I think I'm going to start doing that more this year just for, I don't know, fun. But we're trying to put the list together so I actually remember to like apply to speak. I'm not like you where people just call me the day before the conference and say, hey, can you fly from medtech to RAPS to speak at both? That hasn't.
No.
I haven't hit that point in this journey yet. Yeah, so I
You'll know you've made it.
That you actually have to
when you have no work-life boundaries.
Well, you have to apply to speak to for medtech in the fall, like today.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible with those kind of deadlines. I don't know what I'm having for lunch immediately after this meeting.
You need a wall calendar. Did you see my post about the wall calendar? You need a wall calendar.
Yeah. I did, yeah. I was waiting for the hashtag ad after that.
No.
I didn't know. I don't know if you need to.
You
do
should
that
buy
these
this
days.
calendar. Yeah, no, I don't have any affiliate links. Not there yet. I haven't figured out how to. I think it's not for lack of wanting. It's just I'm just too lazy.
You're at the beginning stages of your influencer regulatory life. Yeah.
What I was gonna say. So I'm glad Nicole's here. Nicole says she's here. So okay, there's two people listening. The other thing that came out today, which I just saw creeping on April Moroni's post, the Total Product Life Cycle Advisory Program Pilot Assessment report came out. So it was by Eagle Hill. They had this third-party group assess TAP, which, as many folks will know, it's when you typically get breakthrough and then you haven't done a pre-sub yet, and so then FDA says we want to put you into this breakthrough on steroids program, and it gives folks additional resources and support from the agency. We have a couple of companies that have TAP, and it's been great for two of them. One of them just holding pattern for other reasons. Another thing is, I didn't know this, but STEP can also get TAP, if you are safer technologies. Yeah.
Kind of cool.
At least it's the word on the street. Anyway, I haven't had time to go through this 52-page document. And I was really crappy last week not putting all the links and stuff in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the links in our Google Doc that you and I share. And then at the end of this, I'm going to put it as a comment because I made a lot of promises last week. And it's as soon as the live goes down, it's squirrel, and it's gone. Get
back to it. I think I was saying I could help, but I think you control the link. So you're on your own.
Is that true?
Yeah. I think so. I think I'm basically just in the chat room, and you would happen to invite me to the.
Some days I might not let you in, Milo. Hey, the other thing I want to talk to you about is we have some people that have expressed interest in maybe being guests on our show and are trying to keep up, and so
I was going to ask.
I think we should.
I was going to ask you the same thing, and no one expressed interest to me, but I thought it might be a good idea. So I think it's as long as they're not trying to just push me out of my chair, I think guests would be a great
we'll just
idea.
be just move a little more to your left, Nyla, just a little bit out. Actually, because I have control over the screen, I could just unpin you or something.
Great.
Anyway, we promised last week, and I want to keep this promise, is we said we were going to talk about STEP and breakthrough and our hot takes on it. And we started going down the slippery slope, but then we said, okay, time to stop the conversation. Mm-hmm. Your take, I think, because that was the de novo that you just talked about, was that breakthrough?
It wasn't, no.
Have you had many go through that had breakthrough? Give me your thoughts. What's your thoughts?
Thoughts are, everyone wants it. So every company that comes to us, the first question they have, even if it is another dental screw, they're do you think this can be breakthrough? I'm and my general answer is no, but we can try. because it takes, it's not that much effort to give it a shot. Um, Obviously, we don't let everyone do that because it'd be just a gigantic waste of the FDA's resources to do that. But my general opinion, I've had a couple of chats with the FDA about it, is it's a huge variance group to group on what qualifies as breakthrough. And it's kind of crazy on that. Like, to me, a 510K should never be breakthrough. It's talking out both sides of your mouth. You can't be equivalent to something and completely
But you
novel.
might be more effective. We're better. We're better
You
than
might be
everything.
more effective. Then don't be a 510K. You should be a de novo. I don't know. That's
We're
fair.
gonna get some,
But like
hate mail. Just
I
kidding.
get it. The FDA created it, this program that has reimbursement tagged to it, and it's a buzz term. It sounds cool. Of course, every investment firm wants to give it a shot, and it's a free application. It's a faster turnaround time than a Q-sub. You get feedback because the FDA reviewers are like us and a bunch of engineers and scientists that can't help themselves. They give feedback on the potential pathway. You get good feedback on your device and kind of how marketable and what the pathway looks like in quicker.
Yeah.
So it's tough for me to discourage clients in at least giving it a shot because logistically it makes sense for them.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree. I feel like, I mean,
wait,
I always have to ask companies, I'm like, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Like, because
yeah,
are you actually going to use the program for what the program was intended for, which is to have those faster interactions with FDA to really ungate various things as you hit milestones, right? So it would be, we need you to look at our animal study. We need you to look at our biocompatibility evaluation plan. We need to, FDA, we need your take on the clinical endpoints. We're going to run a study outside the U.S. and we want to just make sure that this is, meeting or it could likely be used for our pre-market study in the future. Those can be really helpful if it's a fast conversation, and it's always as resources allow, meaning like if you submit a sprint discussion, it's possible that FDA is going to say like, we busy, or everyone just got fired, or everyone, people have left and now we don't have the resources that we thought we would. And so things are going to be slower. But you'll see at LSI, since you're going to go, like a lot of the companies there, that is one of the first things they mention is if they have breakthrough, we are XYZ device, and we have breakthrough designation from FDA. And I think maybe the goal is to like educate investors more of like, what does that actually mean, right? Like, did you pour money and time into getting breakthrough designation? But how helpful is it? Should we put that money and time into investing it
yeah.
elsewhere into the growth of the company? Or, yeah,
I Yeah, I'd agree. And you mentioned kind of that clinical and do we, those conversations. I've actually noticed, especially where we've been more successful getting breakthrough, the FDA has required a substantial amount of evidence and often clinical evidence. So to get to that point where you're collecting good clinical evidence, especially if it's a high risk product that requires an IDE, you're kind of far down the line before you even get the breakthrough, and you remove a lot of that beneficial regulatory help. And so I think breakthrough, especially in those types of cases, has turned into truly more of a investment program than a benefit on the regulatory end, because I had a step device that we got step designation 2 days before we submitted the 510K.
Yeah.
We were just like, cool, thanks, here you go. Like, 'cause it took that long. And it was, it was beneficial to the company. They got to say they were eventually they became they were the first step 510K cleared. So like, it was helpful to get into the program, but it was like, we didn't have one Q sub, one sprint discussion.
So like all the benefits of the
just
program
very
were
much
kind of a wash.
But we did get to say the FDA thinks we're safer than what's already out there.
Yeah. It is kind of like a bit of a feather in your cap.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that also probably what's muddied things a little bit is the promise of some sort of reimbursement or right. And there are some still like floating around for like TSET and some of the benefits for re just payers. I think that's I don't know. I have pretty strong opinions about that. Maybe I'll leave those to myself. But I do feel like there's uh, what?
Why?
No one's here.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
hey,
one's here.
David Pudwell's here.
It's just Nicole. It's Nic.
What's
Oh,
up,
okay. Well, he's
David?
got strong opinions
Yeah,
on lots
it's
of
true.
things. So about
Um, I think it. I don't feel like FDA's decision should be necessarily impacting payment. Maybe that's, maybe that's my mildest way of saying it. I wish that the reimbursement and CMS was a little bit easier to navigate and faster to navigate. A lot of these companies get their de novo or get their 510K through, and it's like, now we have the huge climb to try and figure out like how we're going to get paid for this if they haven't put that into the equation ahead of time or thought about it. And so I feel like um, it's a great benefit if, of course, if it works, but it's very few companies that actually get any sort of reimbursement thanks to breakthrough designation, right? So uh,
right.
I think I talked to somebody who left CMS recently, and it was like, yeah, I can count on one hand, right? Like, where it's really benefited.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of, that's a good segue. Let's move the tempo access thing. So
Okay.
I know we talked about it last week. Uh, I did finally get around to reading the Federal Register, the notice about it, which is
Yeah.
pretty. Actually, I'm gonna put that into my links of things that I'm gonna
Into the
add,
chat. Yeah.
uh, because it was buried like on page 119 of the federal notice that came out. But it did give a lot of information. I think Acacia Parks has been posting about it as well. She's been
Yeah.
helpful to like follow her and some of the stuff that she's been writing about it. But at least it spells out like what companies they or what they want companies to submit. Um, I still haven't heard whether or not the the, uh, the spots are filled, like you said. Like, are they filled? But I also I saw that Jessica Paulson, who was named in that notice, like to email,
Yeah.
is no longer at FDA. So I'm like, who's running the program?
Yeah. Someone. I just heard that she was leaving, which is a bummer, big
Yeah,
time. Jessica's awesome and like really did a really good job of like um, coming up with new programs, but also reframing existing stuff in a way that made more sense for industry. Like some of things that already existed at FDA, like just kind of bringing them up and going, wait, you could use it for 10 other things that make sense. Now it's like a program that we're doing. And
yeah,
I felt like every time I saw that, I was like, oh, that's creative. That's a good idea, way to use that. It was always Jessica's name like attached to
yeah.
it. So I feel like someone told me where she's going and I forgot.
Well, that's not helpful.
And maybe it's
Yeah,
not public
great.
news yet, so I'll keep it. Yeah. Maybe I intentionally forgot because I don't want to air out stuff that I
Oh,
shouldn't.
that's
You know,
true.
I'd
Who's
love.
listening? Just,
I'll say that.
tea.
Yeah, I'll say I intentionally forgot, not that I have the memory of a squirrel.
Squirrels actually have pretty good memory. I think it's goldfish you're looking for, right? They're the ones that like, they're like, oh, there's
Thanks, Allison. I screwed this up too.
Actually, I hate two animals. I hate's a strong word. I strongly dislike two animals on this planet. One is squirrels. The other one's pandas. Discuss. I'm just kidding.
I I think this is hilarious because I am also of the opinion that squirrels are just rats with better PR.
Yes.
Fluffy tail doesn't get you anything. You've still ruined
Yeah.
my bird feeder.
Yes.
Um, and I think pandas are adorable, but I have a very good friend that's friends with a lot of the pit bioengineering and pit
Yeah.
regulatory crew, and she has had a strong anti-panda stance since the
Yes.
day I met her, and she might need to be a spot guest just for you guys to
I
rant
would
about
love to
pandas
just
one day.
talk to her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be my joke next week. I'm going to
Shout
find
out
some
to Laura
panda
Ritchie.
jokes.
Yeah.
I wanted to, we have. I'm going to try and keep this at 30 minutes. And we don't have. There's not so much this week. I mean,
I've got one other announcement before the end that I want to do.
I think I was gonna. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay,
I was gonna say, if you're following FDA on Instagram, or if you're not, you should. They put out this really fascinating video of I don't know who she is, but she's one of she's one of the leaders at the agency, and she talks about this is their 125th year. Do you hear pop quiz? Do you know what 125th year celebration is called? No, it's called a Quasquicentennial. Yeah,
that's
125th year, and they have a video that's online. It was kind of like, whoa, this is pretty intense because they've done a lot in 125 years. And anyway, so they're planning on doing some videos and PR around that. So anyway, follow them on Instagram.
I'm now following. I'm now following the US FDA. I see that some of my friends already follow them, so that's maybe that'll. My Instagram feed is depressing, so I'm trying to stay off of it a little.
What's the new word? It's not doom scroll anymore. It's called bloom scrolling, like trying to find like happy things. So you should follow Blue Stocking Health.
I need a new.
On Instagram.
There we go. Maybe I should just get what do the kids call it, a Finsta? I'll get just solely
I don't know
for
what that
news.
is. What's a Finsta?
I think it's your fake Instagram that your parents can't see. Yeah, I bet your daughters have one. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, my eldest recently figured out how to unlock my phone, and it freaked me out. I was like, "Oh gosh, how'd you get my password?" So, got to change that now, which is going to take me about a month to figure out what my code is, because I have the memory of a goldfish.
Well, that's a squirrel.
Anyway, do your announcement, because I feel like we have something to celebrate.
Yeah. So for, the RAC tests are like twice a year, and for the RACs, and the announcements from the November test went out this week, and my younger brother, Nick Nilo, got his certification. He's actually the first person at our company to have a RAC certification, so that's awesome.
Are you going to pay him more?
Time. So it's awesome. Well, we're going to bill him for more, that's for sure. Clients are going to pay more.
That's amazing. How did he? How did he find the test? Was it hard? Was he?
He studied pretty hard for it, and took up a lot of the practice tests, and I think that prepared him pretty well. I think going in, he said it was hard, but he felt pretty good about it because he had done the practice test. But someone said like 50% or 55% of people don't pass on the first try, so it is it's kind of got an MCAT level grading curve to it. So
hopefully not as hard as the MCAT. But man, I guess it depends. The MCAT? Were you going to go to medical school?
I was, and I had a real freak out in the oh crap, I'm going to be in school till I'm 36, and I didn't really want it, and I panicked and said yes to going to grad school. I think I've told you this story. The person came up and said, "Hey, do you want to go to grad school?" And I said, will you pay me for it? And he said, "Yep." And I said, "Where am I going?" He said, "Birmingham." And for 24 hours, I thought I was moving to England. And then I thought to ask more questions the next day at work. Turns out I was moving to Alabama.
As Americans, we are terrible at geology. That's really funny. Go to England.
But back to Alabama.
So did you say?
Same
you
passport.
said yes.
Oh yeah, I said yes before I knew, and then I took I asked what do I have to do, and he's like, you have to take your GREs. So I took them the next day, and then I lied to him and said I knew how to drive stick, so he let me drive his Jeep down to Alabama with all my stuff in it, and I learned how to drive stick that summer.
Well, I mean, that's
Sorry, Dave. It's been
he's
2
finding out
years.
right now.
Yeah,
Don't worry, he's never gonna watch it.
he'll never hear this.
That's amazing. You probably have told me that, but the benefit of being a friend with me is that, like,
It's a fun story.
you can tell me stories again and again. And I'm like, that is so cool.
You, you have the memory of a squirrel.
I think we need a shirt. Trying to keep up. The squirrels. All right. Well, congratulations to Nick. We should have prizes.
And everyone else who took the racks that probably found out this week if they passed, because I think they all go
Yeah,
at once.
probably Raps is gonna post something, so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
All right. Well, if there's anything else that people think we need to talk about next week, let's talk about it. Send it to us, and I will be better this time around, and I will post the links, and maybe I'll go back to the previous one and post the ones from last week too.
We should move in our sheet the what should we cover next week, move that into what we actually are talking about next week, because I think I forgot all of the stuff right after last week's to talk about this week. We'll just push it
Sounds
to
great.
the next week.
Great. I love that. I love that for us.
Sounds perfect. All right.
All right. Look at that. 30 minutes on the nose. Anyway, thanks
it.
for our 2 listeners. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. I will send out, I think we just post this once a month, but we'll, like, send out an invite for whoever wants to attend. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That works.
Otherwise,
we'll
we're going
figure
to
that
people
out.
are going to be like, oh
I
my
don't know.
God, they're doing that thing again. But,
I want that. That'll really decrease the audience. It'll be great.
then it really will just be the 2 of us talking.
Just be us. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye.